Good morning. My name is Liz Loader, and it is my privilege to be serving as your lay reader this morning. First of all, let me welcome everybody that's here worshiping with us in person and those of you who are joining us online. We're so glad you're here together and that we're all here and together to worship. At this time, I want to make just a few announcements. I'd like to remind you to sign up out in the hallway under the TV for one of the opportunities to share your stories about North Shore Congregational Church as we prepare to celebrate the 75th anniversary of this wonderful place. I want to remind you also that on February 21st is our next midweek manna worship service, and to invite you all to join us this Wednesday at 7 o'clock for the Ash Wednesday service as we begin our walk during Lent. Please sign the friendship pads at the end of each pew if you haven't already. Make sure I got that in because I usually don't. And right now, I'd like to introduce Bruce Loader from the Benevolence Board. And he's going to present our Moment for Missions. Oh, and Midge too.
Good morning, everybody. As you know, I'm Bruce Loader. I'm on the Benevolence Board, and as a newbie on the Benevolence Board, I get to do all the public speaking. So, thank you. Today we have two announcements. The first is the initiation, our first day of the Spread the Love event. That's our peanut butter and jelly collection that is going to go for just one more ministry. It's going to be on for a couple of weeks. You could bring your donations and place them over in the Narthex area. And also afterwards in Friendship Lounge, I'll have my jelly jar that's already seated with a $2 bill. If anybody wants to put a donation in, they'll be greatly accepted, and I'll magically turn it into peanut butter later this afternoon before the non-Packer game. Anyway, Midge Croysdale is also involved with the Benevolence and is sporting this lovely t-shirt today about peanut butter. Now, Midge also was really involved in the farmers market this year. And at the farmers market, we had a little box that we made a collection for St. Ben's. And Father Mike from St. Ben's is here today to give us a mission update. But from that box that Midge put out every Saturday, we collected for St. Ben's $727. And we're combining that with a donation from all of you through the Benevolence Board of $2,000. So in my pocket, I have a check for $2,727. I'd like to give to you, Father Mike. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Father Mike, who will give us a few moments of, a few bits of information about the mission. He can't stay today, so we'll take off afterwards, but I'm turning the mic to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you all of you for your support of St. Ben's. My name is Father Mike Bertram. I belong to a religious order of men in the Catholic Church. We call ourselves Capuchin Franciscans. We follow a lifestyle according to St. Francis. This is a capuche, and so that's how we get our name of Capuchins. But I'm the director of Capuchin Community Services in Milwaukee that encompasses all the ministries at St. Ben's. But if you're familiar with the House of Peace, that's another one of our ministries as well. And so I'm the director of both sites. We try to put it under one umbrella, and we're still trying to get people associated with that entire, that entity, if you will. But again, many people have a fidelity, especially to the St. Ben's meal. My sincere thanks to you folks, to you that are there every month, taking one day out of the month to provide the meal for those who come in off of the street looking for food these days. So thanks so very much. Thank you for this check as well. Just to give you an update, I've been director for about 1.5 years, which makes me just a little dangerous because I've got enough information to start talking about things. And I was talking before Mass about some of the direction that we hope to take in the near future. I'll talk about a couple of things. Presently, St. Ben's not only conducts its nightly meal, but we also offer shelter for those who have no home through the winter months. We are the largest seasonal shelter program in the city of Milwaukee. And one of the thoughts is we would love in the future to expand that to a year-round program. Because as I like to say, homelessness is not a winter issue. It's with us all the time. And fortunately, the city and the county are very interested in our interest to really expand that and make it a year-round program. The other thing, too, is part of my background is I'm a former teacher. I taught 7th and 8th graders. You may groan at that, all right? Knowing what 7th and 8th graders are. But honestly, it was 7th and 8th graders that really got me to think about becoming a priest and becoming a Capuchin. And I am eternally grateful to those 7th and 8th graders. I only say that, though, because when I came on as director, you can imagine, those of you that are in the education field, it was September of 2022 that there were some reports that were revealed about the effects of COVID on our students. And the effects were disastrous. We haven't seen such low scores in reading and math in like 30 years. And with children of color, it's even worse. So that just kind of gets to my teaching background. I'm very proud of what Capuchin Community does. But as I was working and getting to know the ministry, it's all material. It's food, it's clothing, and you know that stuff passes. We can eat today, but we're hungry tomorrow. Education is different. Education sticks. So I've taken it as my mission this year to work on an after-school program in reading and math, starting small but starting young, kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Because again, if you study some of the statistics, it's amazing. Do you know how the state of Wisconsin calculates its needed prison space in 10 or 15 years? There's a way of calculating this. The state looks at second grade reading scores. And the state will know how much prison space we will need in 10 or 15 years by looking at those scores. Isn't that sick? At the same time, there's a silver lining there, though, isn't it? If we could read with our kids and get them to read, what an impact on their lives we would make. Another statistic, when a fourth grader is pushed on to fifth grade but really can't read that well, when that population reaches adulthood, 78% is either on welfare or in prison. It just really brings back the importance of education and at a young age. So again, please keep it in your prayers because we're working hard. We really want to get some of those programs off the ground. My basic message is thanks. I wish I could stay. I was looking forward to being here for your service. Since we set this date, some of you may know St. Eugene Parish in Fox Point. Well, they lost their pastor. So guess who they called? I was a pastor of St. Francis Parish in Milwaukee for 19 and a half years. Loved the place, missed the people, but I truly love Capuchin Community Services. I love the work with the poor. I think it answers the heart of what Jesus asks us to do. And my parting words to you are this. When we get before the pearly gates, what does the Gospel of Matthew tell us to expect? People are going to be told, when I was hungry, did you give me food? When I was thirsty, did you give me drink? When I was naked, did you give me clothing? When I was in prison, did you come to visit me? And I'm here to say, you can proudly say yes. Thank you so much for what you do for Capuchin Community Services. I wish I could stay. God bless you all.
Our first reading today is from the Psalm 34, verses 1 through 10. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul makes its boast in the Lord. Let the humble hear and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. Look to him and be radiant, so your faces shall never be ashamed. This poor soul cried and was heard by the Lord and was saved from every trouble. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Happy are those who take refuge in him. Oh, fear the Lord, you his holy ones, for those who fear him have no want. The young lions suffer want and hunger, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing. Will you join me in prayer? Loving and gracious God, we are gathered together this morning to join in worship and praise. As we listen to your word and lift our voices in song, we know you have drawn us here to share our love for you and one another. Create in our hearts the courage and willingness to carry that love into your world and be your feet and hands and eyes on this earth. All of this we ask in the name of your Son, who taught us to pray, saying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. At this time, children aged 3 through grade 6 are invited to attend music and movement and godly fun. Our next reading is from Isaiah chapter 55, verses 1 through 9. Hear, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and you who have no money, come buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your earnings for that which does not satisfy? Listen carefully to me and eat what is good, and delight yourselves in rich food. Incline your ear and come to me. Listen so that you may live. I will make with you an everlasting covenant, my steadfast, sure love for David. See, I made him a witness to the peoples, a leader and commander for the peoples. Now you shall call nations that you do not know, and nations that you do not know shall run to you, because of the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, for he has glorified you. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake their ways and the unrighteous their thoughts. Let them return to the Lord, that he may have mercy on them, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
The man starts nearing retirement and you can't put a leash on him. So today in the liturgical calendar of the church is Transfiguration Sunday. It's a story that shows up in all three of the synoptic gospels, in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, but today we're going to hone in on Mark's account of that narrative. Just before that, in the 8th chapter of Mark, we hear the story of that declaration from Peter as to who and what Jesus is. Where Jesus asks his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" And they respond, "John the Baptist, and others Elijah, and still others one of the prophets." And Jesus says, "But who do you say that I am?" And Peter replies, "You are the Messiah." And then it's in Matthew's gospel, actually, that the conversation goes on, and Jesus says, "Peter, you are the rock, and on that rock I will build my church." The whole notion of St. Peter's Cathedral in Rome being built right over the burial place of Peter, that whole tie. But in Mark's gospel, we don't have that piece. It goes immediately into the foretelling of Jesus' death and resurrection. And then at the outset of chapter 9, we get into that story of the Transfiguration.